too. Knows about the grind. Yeah, bubble grind.
Now we have a guy that could probably get in there if you...
It's game day. The Edmonton Oilers hit the road once again. A very good Wednesday afternoon to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. A clear choice for Edmonton Sports presented by Parlay, ALBERTA. Iwanyk in for Hernand once again, joined alongside Joaquin Gage, Benny Thompson, who's in for Zachary Kubish. I want to say jam-packed, full show. We've got lots to get to on the show today, but we're also in a holding pattern as Mark Spector of Sportsnet. You guys all know Mark Spector.
Who?
He had tweeted specifically at 11:37, as of this moment, 11:37 a.m. Mountain Time, Kris Knoblauch has not been fired by the Edmonton Oilers. We're expecting that to happen, however, likely by day's end. So if that is to happen, we're now just waiting. We have less than 11 hours for that to happen. If Spec is right. And Spec on these type of things generally is in the know with all of this stuff. So now we're just waiting for the official word from the Edmonton Oilers if that happens. Should that happen, then all of a sudden we're switching focus on the show. So we don't have too much fully planned for this show in terms of we're going to go do this and this and this and this. We're going to do a lot of texts, inbox. We want to hear from you, River Cree inbox. You can get into the nasty chat. We do have Mick Kern from Sirius XM, who's a favorite of this show. We're going to talk some NHL with him. Playoffs we can get into, the fact that the Sabres Canadian series may have switched on a weird goal that bounces off the boards and goes in and maybe is switching that series around. Craig Berube out in Tampa Bay. An outside perspective on this whole Oilers-Bruce Cassidy situation. Mick Kern will join us at 2:05. We've got Hernand's World for Edmonton Garrison Golf. We will get to that in this show. We also have the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. Did not hit yesterday. My part has not played yet. But Patrick Corbin did not get the strikeouts. Mitch Marner did not get a point.
He's on the ice.
I have an idea and a plan for Screw It, Let's Do It today for Play Alberta. It's been a cold streak. Last week there wasn't a hit. We're 0 for 2 to start this week. I have a play for that one. We will get to that at 2:40 on the show today. I'm a little disappointed, not in collectively, that we're just not getting this done. We're in this slump, and we need to get out of this. But I have an idea for that one today. We will get to that later. Gager, how are you doing today?
I'm good. It's a weird holding pattern. I've been thinking about that since you said that, Maddie. It's a weird place to be right now because you're waiting for something to happen. Now there's the coaching carousel has started, the carnival-like atmosphere of the coaches. We were talking, I guess Spec has done his due diligence, as they say, and has something, but I mean, it does look like the Edmonton Oilers. Cassidy seems to be their guy, right? Why wouldn't they? But there's nothing... Like there are a few other options for Bruce Cassidy now. Like he's probably going to want to. He's got himself in a position where he can kind of look and see where the best fit for him might be. He's from Ottawa. There's a coaching vacancy in Toronto, a little bit closer to home, that might appeal to him a little bit more. The Los Angeles one. Could be appealing to obviously live in Los Angeles and try to do something there. So, but what happens at that point with the Edmonton Oilers? Because they've kind of, again, circling the runway here. What would the percentage be you putting on Kris Knoblauch coaching the Edmonton Oilers next season?
On opening night, Kris Knoblauch being the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, I would put at less than 1%.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I think this is done. I think this is done. I think this is Bruce Cassidy. The percent I would have would be greater than 99%. That Bruce Cassidy will be the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. Elliot Friedman did say on radio today that he believes Cassidy's preference is the Oilers over the Leafs. Obviously, the Oilers have this interest in Bruce Cassidy unless there is something that comes up in negotiations with Bruce Cassidy. Money, some sort of something we're not expecting in a negotiation pops up, and that derails the conversation. Bruce Cassidy will be the next head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. I am just, with the way that this is all played out, that's where I'm going to go with. Benny, you're in the same spot?
Exact same spot. Yeah, and I mean, I think Cassidy knows, like, the term shouldn't really be an issue. Like, they signed Knoblauch to a 3-year deal. I'd imagine it's probably something similar if he comes here. But yeah, like Elliot was saying earlier, it seems like Edmonton is his number one target. Obviously, there's interest from Edmonton. We heard about it all yesterday. So, and to me, you can't have all this noise about Kris Knoblauch and then not have him fired. Like, imagine if we're talking about all this stuff yesterday and today, Specs saying that, we should be hearing that he's fired by the end of the day today, and he isn't. And he's coaching day. To me, that would just be ridiculous. Yeah, he's, to me, as good as gone, and I'd be shocked if it's not Cassidy coming to Edmonton.
Spec didn't have his tweet today, and if Elliot Friedman did not have his today of Bruce Cassidy prefers Edmonton over Toronto, I would sit here today and probably put it at 65-70% Bruce Cassidy's the head coach, which would leave, 35%, 30% Kris Knoblauch would be coach. I don't think, after yesterday, it's would have been out of the realm of possibilities that the Oilers do bring back Kris Knoblauch. Rashog said something that I brought up yesterday, which was maybe the Oilers are looking after, and I'm not saying Rashog heard me and said that. It's just, some other people have been pointing out to what Rashog said today, and I've said it also. It's that you might be just thinking that there's a couple of guys that are better than Kris Knoblauch, but Knoblauch is better than everyone else after that. And if those guys don't want to come, you're happy with Kris Knoblauch or sticking with Kris Knoblauch, but you need to go talk to those guys to know if you can make that change. That's why I don't think they had fired him, but I just don't. I just now think the idea that Bruce Cassidy's first choice is the Oilers, and then Spec has his thing that this is what the Oilers are going for. They're just going all in. And again, and even I would have the Spec thing almost pushed aside. It's what Elliot had to say, because today, Craig Berube getting fired, if Bruce Cassidy wanted the Leafs more than the Oilers, then yeah, you'd be like, okay, well, Bruce Cassidy's gone. He's going to go to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Are the Oilers going to make a change? I don't know.
I wonder how that conversation goes. Does what do they call it? Stan Jackson? Do they go down to Palm Desert to talk to Cates and say, look, we need to make a coaching change?
Or does it come the other way?
Yeah.
Does it come from the owner going, I don't like what I'm seeing and I want something changed?
Does the fact that he listens, maybe he has the discussions with Connor and Leon. Does he phone Connor and Leon and go, what's going on here? And then he decides this whole move? I wonder I wonder if is he that involved in it? Or does he rely on everyone else to give him the input and the information, and then he makes the final call? Because I mean it to him, I don't think paying Kris Knoblauch, he's going to lose any sleep over the next 3 years. Maybe it's a mosquito bite.
Yeah.
But we were talking about this too. Is Cassidy the right coach for this team?
Well, that's the other question. And we brought it up yesterday. The idea, and Benny was immediately dismissive of Connor and Leon, the narrative that they wouldn't, if they're not happy getting their butt kicked by a coach like Bruce Cassidy, they want to go, fine, then go at that point. And I say that's along the lines of what you said, right?
To me, the way I would phrase it is they've been trying the player coach thing for their cup window. It hasn't worked, so you got to change something. And I said on Reed's show yesterday that it's not necessarily the coach itself. To me, it's the relationship. I think they need a new relationship with the coach.
What's that relationship?
To me, I think McDavid and Draisaitl basically coach themselves. I don't think they'd listen to Kris.
No, but what's the relationship they have with like Kris Knoblauch compared to Cassidy? What would that be?
I think Cassidy would push on his thoughts and the way he coaches onto Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. I think he would focus. He'd make them focus defense first, versus Kris Knoblauch, where I think Knoblauch kind of lets McDavid and Draisaitl do their thing and go, okay, whatever you guys think is best, I'm gonna let you guys think that way. I think Cassidy will want them to be creative in the offensive zone, but I think he has his system, and I think he will imply that on the top players here, which I think will benefit them long term.
Which I'll then take aside to this is, what have we seen from Connor and Leon in their entire time as Edmonton Oilers that says that they would listen to Bruce Cassidy? They speak a lot. They talk a lot of the good stuff. But the results, then it's always we're having the same narratives at different times.
Yeah.
Why do we believe that Bruce Cassidy would then be able to get their ear and they would listen?
That's totally fair. To me, we've looked through every coach, like you were mentioning here, and every coach has fallen for the same trap over and over and over. They run McDavid and Draisaitl through the wall. They PK here and there or whatever it is. The defensive hockey is not what their main priority. And I think that I have belief after seeing what Cassidy is like. I have belief that he has this demeanor to him that he won't care. He will imply his system. Hearing the reports from Vegas about how some players were rubbed the wrong way by him at times. Honestly, I actually think that might be a good thing for the Oilers. Because to me, that he doesn't care what the players are what their mindsets are and how they're used to playing. He has his system. He sticks to it. I think that's what benefits this team the most.
And the one risk I will say about Bruce Cassidy of doing that is, like, there is the success rates of that. We've seen that time and time again with a lot of places. But there's also those coaches that are like that have a great history, but they also have that one spot where it didn't work even in year one.
Yes.
John Tortorella had a year in Vancouver. Like, it can happen.
True.
Where the 1 year the players just immediately do not listen, and it's done. And that is a fear. I do want to. Oh, go ahead, and then I'll.
Also, I want to mention though too is that McDavid and Draisaitl don't have a cup to their name.
No.
Cassidy does.
Yeah.
I think there's also part of that too, where it's like Cassidy has the right to go, hey, I have a cup. Got it. You guys don't. You guys listen to me here.
Which hasn't happened really in this organization when it comes to a head coach. Deskra 9013. Connor said that, quote, vets want to be coached this year. Knob clearly didn't do anything for him. I will just say this one thing, though, is that though we've heard a lot from Connor and Leon, and the actions haven't followed through with those things. He could say that, and I'm not trying to turn this into a ripping on Connor and Leon situation, but how many times have we heard them come through captain's gate and they want to commit to a strong start to the season? They don't have a strong start to the season. Leon Draisaitl at the start of this year, he wants to be in the conversation for Selke. Was he in the conversation for the Selke Award this year? These are guys like, I could go to the elimination game of the Edmonton Oilers. Bell's on the post-game show pointing out all the little cheats that Connor and Leon had in that game 6, would have it been? Game 5? Yeah. Game 6. Game 6. Game 6, that they were cheating. Why do they need to be coached into not cheating? Why do they need to be coached into those small little things? That they say certain things, but the actions don't always follow what their words are. And they could sit there and say, yeah, they want to be coached, but the history has stated that they actually don't always want to be coached, largely. That's the one way you could also look at that.
Look, I've played on a lot of teams, and there's certain coaches that are wired. They're all wired a little differently, right? So there's some that have a good feel of the pulse of players, and you know when to use the cattle prod, and you know when to use the soother a little bit, right? I think with Cassidy, it's his way or the highway. I don't think there's. Okay,
here's if Connor was locked into a 5-year deal right now, where we still have 4 more years left of Connor, let's say, and Leon's locked in, would you care about that my way or highway situation?
I wouldn't care either if 1 year or 5 years.
Okay, because I know when we were talking about Jay Woodcroft getting fired, at that time I was one saying I think they need a guy that's going to come in and kick these guys in the butt, and I was pushing Gerard Gallant for that as a guy that's going to get short-term results. I know that they're going to fire him in 2 years, but go get the most. I won't lie, I'm a little more nervous about bringing in a hard-ass coach And that's one of the reasons why Connor's gone.
I just feel if, there is leeway that you give certain stars, right? But if you watch Cassidy, the teams that he had success with and in Boston, and they all played the same way, and they were all wired the same way too. Like, and of course, to generate scoring chances there, you have to take chances at certain points on the ice. But the timing of those chances, I think, greatly decreases now with Cassidy, with his kind of view of, not that Knoblauch didn't have a view of detail, but his level of enforcement of those details might differ. And when, I think it was 2 years ago, when Coach Knoblauch put Leon at the end of the bench for 3 shifts in the second period. And there was a response with Leon, and I think he set up the winning goal, and afterwards Knoblauch gave Leon the game award, or they showed it in the dressing room and you saw Leon. This is after a win, and he had a poopy diaper because his coach benched him for 3 shifts. You're not supposed to be happy about those things, but that was 3 shifts, and there was that much of a reaction to a game where he was instrumental in winning and coming back. Like, that to me showed a little bit, they're here now. You have a guy that's going to might be in your face a lot more, and use his only commodity, and that's ice time. Those are the 2 stars here haven't had to. They've dealt with it at some point probably in their career, but they haven't had to deal with it here ever.
That was exactly the point I was going to bring up. I think that can show you the fact that the coaches that the Oilers have had in the past weren't willing to make those moves with him. And so it's a shock to Leon that he's being sat. He's like, oh, no coach has done that to me. And that was the last time Knoblauch has done that. I could definitely see the start of the Cassidy, McDavid, Draisaitl relationship being maybe a little bit rocky, because Cassidy's going to come in and maybe do that to them a little bit more. But I think long term, though, they'll understand it a little bit, especially if it means winning. And I'll preface this as well. Like, I don't think them firing Kris Knoblauch and replacing him with Bruce Cassidy is the difference of them winning the Stanley Cup. They need to make more moves. Like, this is not this is not a coach away from winning a Stanley Cup. I think we can all agree on that. Now, being healthy and having more time off this offseason, I think will also be a huge benefit. But there's definitely some holes on this roster that need to be fixed. I just think that if I'm going to next season, would I rather have Kris Knoblauch or Bruce Cassidy as my head coach to coach the team to a Stanley Cup? I'm taking Bruce Cassidy over Kris Knoblauch right now, especially with this roster.
I will make one prediction. If Bruce Cassidy is the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers, at some point Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl will be loaded up together. During his tenure, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, and we're going to be then ripping on Bruce Cassidy for doing the same thing that has happened time and time again with Todd McClellan, with Dave Tippett, with Jay Woodcroft, with Kris Knoblauch. Bruce Cassidy will do the same thing at some point. Your thoughts always welcome. 780-218-9999. That's the River Cree inbox. Tap 25 restaurant, $18.99 prime rib special. As I said, just $18.99 available 7 days a week from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Available for dine-in and takeout, not available on show nights. We got Mick Kern from SiriusXM coming up at 2:05. We also got Hernand's World. This is EST Afternoons. Matt Iwanyk and Hernand Salas alongside Joaquin Gage. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Killer choice for Edmonton Sports. Here's Benny with a sports update.
Craig Berube's tenure in Toronto is over as he's been let go of his head coaching duties. Berube coached 2 seasons for the Leafs. Toronto has yet to find his replacement. The NHL announced the Calder Trophy winner today, and to nobody's surprise, Matthew Schaefer took home the trophy with the unanimous vote. Schaefer captured 23 goals and 59 points this season, leading the Islanders to a 91-point season. NHL playoff action rolled along tonight with one game on tap between the Avalanche and Wild, with Colorado looking to end the series. Puck drop goes at 6 p.m. In the majors, the Blue Jays are in the final game of their 3-game series against the Rays. Tampa Bay is taking the first 2. Dylan Cease will be on the mound for Toronto. Griffin Jacks for Tampa Bay. First pitch is at 5:07. We got other action around baseball today as the Yankees and Orioles are in action. That game's in the bottom of the 7th inning with the Orioles up 7-0. And then the Guardians and Angels are in the top of the 8th with the Guardians up 4-2 over LA. On the hardwood, it's one game going on in the NBA playoffs with the Cavs taking on the Pistons. That series is tied at 2. Tip-off goes at 6 p.m. tonight. The sports update is brought to you by Capital Care. Financial supports deeply affects residents at Capital Care, whether it's a one-time donation or a monthly contribution. Every penny counts. Find out how you can donate at capitalcarefoundation.net. More of EST Afternoons on the other side of the commercials. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Craig Button.
Leon Draisaitl said we've gone backwards. I've been very clear. 75 to 80% of this is on management. Go and change the coach. Bruce Cassidy's a hell of a coach. Feels like everybody wants to run Kris Knoblauch out of town. So chase him out of there. Bring in a new coach. They're not going anywhere near the Stanley Cup if they don't improve the roster. Full stop.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Some of us are walking, others are biking. Together, we are accelerating the pace of MS research breakthroughs. This May, join Sentinel Storage at an MS walk in your community. Sentinel Storage, proud partner of MS Canada.
Your home for great performances is
the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd.
9 p.m. show is sold out.
Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com.
River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement? Bet on it.
Goodwill is
one shopper, finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket, a deal, one donor, letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant,
learning,
trying,
building skills,
building confidence,
building a future.
One purchase, one donation,
one job, one choice.
Goodwill is
the power of one, the power of one, the power of one, the power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Somewhere, someone is sitting on a patio that is literally part of the parking lot. They're hot, uncomfortable, and bored. Do not be that person. The Canadian Brewhouse has a rooftop, real turf, misters, fire tables, patio games, big screens, and zero reason to be bored. This summer, your standards are higher than a parking lot, and you know it. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
Back here in the William Huff studio since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients, unparalleled customer service combined with decades of industry experience, and a desire to make the job very best it can be is what they call the William Huff advantage. Check them out, williamhuff.com. Iwanyk in for Hernand Salas alongside Joaquin Gage and Benny Thompson, who's in for Zachary Kubish, 123 here in Edmonton as we get set for a less than fun weather forecast for the next little while. Huge wind coming later tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow, a high of 12 with rain. Friday, rain and a high of 12. Saturday, 8 and cloudy. Sunday, 12 and cloudy. Monday, 16 mix of sun and cloud for the Victoria Day. And then Tuesday, rainy and 13 degrees. So we need that rain, but forecast coming up. I do want to get into the River Cree inbox. I want to rattle off just a couple of texts that have come in. You could always get in touch with the Nasty Chat as well. Haji, not a fan of firing Knoblauch, but the next coach had better come with a new approach. Pat saying Knoblauch didn't trade Kulak for Jari.
What?
But defending Kris Knoblauch. Oh. Knoblauch didn't make that trade. Because Parkside, I think this is less of a coaching thing and more of a management thing, which has me hoping that the announcement includes Bowman. Maximili, isn't Cassidy a fantastic defensive coach? Well, that's what we were told Dave Tippett was going to be. And then Dave Tippett talked about how he wasn't a defensive coach. He knows how to also coach offense. But Dave Tippett was supposed to come in and teach these guys how to play defense. And that never happened. Here's the one question, though, I do throw out. I threw this out on the Hangout today as well. So if you didn't hear it, your thoughts welcome as well. Bruce Cassidy has been a guy who leaves Boston. Vegas makes a move to bring him in. He leaves Vegas teams are wanting to make moves for him. Pete DeBoer's constantly hired after he's getting fired like immediately. Jim Montgomery talked about yesterday when he got let go from Boston. St. Louis made a move to bring him in. You got a Peter Lavalette who's always getting hired. John Tortorella has found a way to always be getting hired. Does Kris Knoblauch, where's he rank? He gets fired by the Edmonton Oilers at some point today, if those reports are accurate. Are there teams lining up to wanting to get Kris Knoblauch? Not will he be a head coach again. Is this a guy that is considered a guy that you have to go get? Because there's a lot of people in hockey where you can't do this to Kris Knoblauch. How could you, outside of this market, it's why would you get rid of a coach that's brought you to 2 Stanley Cups? But the one thing I would say is if he's that top echelon of a coach, are there teams that are going to be lining up to want to get Kris Knoblauch?
I don't. This is going to sound bad, but I don't think so.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. I think although I think he, I think it depends. Does it depend on a team? Maybe not. But I think his type of coaching style works. Just have that calm demeanor with teams, like if it's needed. Like every coach is subtly different, but unfortunately for him, all his success, I think he falls into that area where people complain we complain if Leon should win the Hart Trophy, but the argument is
he plays with Connor.
So Kris Knoblauch is going to be throwing his resumes out there. Oh well, he coached Connor and Leon. That's why he got to the Cup final. He had two of the best players in the league. So,
I think there's a chance he's not on a head coach at the start of next NHL season.
No.
I think he'll be back on the bench as a head coach again in the National Hockey League. He might be one of those guys you're making a move next season for. Like, things aren't going well. Let's go bring in Kris Knoblauch.
Did you ever hear Paul Maurice talk about Kris Knoblauch?
No.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Pretty sure it was Paul Maurice. He was, because they were against each other in the finals, he had glowing things to say about him, but I can't remember if it was either in Carolina. I think it was probably, it might have been Toronto. Or it was one of the places that Paul Maurice was coaching, and they were interviewing for the assistant coaching job. And Kris Knoblauch was applying for the assistant coaching, and they went through the process. And Paul Maurice said no to him, but he also told him he doesn't see him as an assistant coach.
He's a head coach?
You're a head coach. You're not an assistant coach. And so that's, I think, Kris took that information and kind of ran with it, and I think went to the American League at that point. But so there's something to that a little bit, for game recognizes game a little bit.
Actually, Kris Knoblauch, I can see having a career like Paul Maurice. Doing well enough, getting jobs, but it's later in his career he might have a little bit more
success.
Have a little bit of extra success. And Kris Knoblauch's not he's 47, so in hockey world, that's still quite young.
Pretty young. Yeah.
I could see this guy going somewhere else, doing a really good job, not getting it done, and then goes to third or fourth place even, and then ultimately wins a cup like Paul Maurice did. But is that kind of guy that that calm demeanor that you just want to come in to take care of your organization for? It's been too chaotic. Let's bring in Kris Knoblauch to settle some things down.
And look, man, you learn from doing things. You're not just very rarely are you just a savant and a prodigy, brilliant something. There's a lot of scars that you build up, and hearing I've said this before, his exit meetings, he's mentioning how he would change things already. And the fact that he's been able to go and be in the playoffs and have success more than a lot of coaches that have been in the NHL a lot longer than him is something that he has over others. I talk about when I played on Team Canada and Tom Rennie was our coach, and he was hungover at the time, but he was telling us the stories of when he essentially went from the Kamloops Blazers to the Vancouver Canucks and treated the Canucks like junior players, right? And it did not work, and how much he learned from that. And then he went back and coached internationally, and then of course he started coaching the Rangers too, right? So it was a big, huge jump for him, and a lot of learning went in those first few years with the Canucks. So I think if I'm an owner or a GM, I'm looking at, well, he's not Liam Neeson from Taken, but he does now have a unique set of skills that he understands playoff hockey, what it takes, what it looks like, how to navigate the waters of up and downs and keep your team even keel. So I think he would be quite valuable as a head coach right now, just because of what he's been able to do over the past few seasons.
He's won 6 playoff series. He's lost 3. Now, 2 of them were the most significant ones you could lose.
Yeah.
But in the end, look at who he lost to in those 3 series. It's Paul Maurice twice. And it's Joel Quenneville, who, again, don't like the guys, things that have happened off the ice with him, but on the ice is one of the greatest ever.
Yep.
There's not many that can like that's a worthy person to be outcoached by.
Yeah.
In Joel Quenneville. And think about the people that Kris Knoblauch has outcoached. Because like it's easy for detractors of Kris Knoblauch to immediately just come out and be like, he's outcoached by these other coaches, but then never give him the credit for who they beat.
Mm-hmm.
But he's outcoached Pete DeBoer twice.
Mm-hmm.
He's outcoached Bruce Cassidy then. He's outcoached Jim Hiller. And who was there before?
He defeated himself.
And I guess it would have been Jim Hiller 2 years, or would have been Todd McClellan 1 year.
It was Todd McClellan and then Jim Hiller.
And then Jim Hiller. So he'd be Todd McClellan. Hey, quality coach still in his own way. And then beat, who would have been the coach in Vancouver?
You said DeBoer already, right?
Yeah. Talkett.
Yeah.
Would have been Talkett.
Yep.
He then beat Talkett.
Yep.
Some pretty good coaches he's outcoached as well.
For sure.
5 really good coaches he's outcoached in the playoffs as well. So like I'd be intrigued to see how the rest of his career goes. But where I'm sad in hockey in this quick reaction world that we're in with coaches is that I would like to know what Kris Knoblauch could do with this team after self-reflecting himself, after looking at his own flaws of this past season, his own failures of this past season, and growing on them. And the fact that he's not going to be allowed that, I think there maybe is a potential where we could be looking back and going, the Oilers let a really good one go here.
Mm-hmm.
Because players are allowed to have off years and then come back and improve. But now we're with coaches, if you have one bad year, it's just you immediately can't coach anymore. You've lost it. You're useless. You're never, the game's gone past you. You have no shot of being a good coach ever again. Let's move on from you.
I mean, I just want to go back to where it came from, if it did come from the owner. Do you think just the fact that McDavid talked about another coach so glowingly, and both the big dogs talking about the step backs and before the break having to be better coach, like it was said, management coach, everything. Do you think that really kind of right then ended it?
No, I don't, because I felt at the time when Draisaitl made his comments, there was a bit of a shot to with management with that one. And at the end of the season, those were a management.
Mm-hmm.
And when I look at the video of what Connor McDavid is saying about John Cooper, he just loves John Cooper. I interviewed John Cooper once on the radio, and I love John Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand that if you're around that guy for multiple weeks, for 4 nations and here, you just fall in love with that guy.
Yeah.
So I just think that is pure admiration that he had for John Cooper. And no matter what would have happened, he was in a bad spot because people would have misrepresented what he said and used it towards Kris Knoblauch. But I don't think that played there.
Okay.
Yeah, I think those comments at the end of the year were management related, but at the same time, like, it's going to be management that's in charge of getting rid of the coach. So to me, I think they're deflecting the blame here to the coach and going, okay, well, all right, well, top guy. And to me, when I heard those comments, like, just if I'm Daryl Cates and I hear your top guy saying that, I'm cleaning house. That's how I look at it. But obviously, that's a lot harder to do with a GM and with Jeff Jackson there and all that stuff. And I guess those are his guys. But it's always the easiest change you can make with an organization. We've been saying it for a while now. Is changing the coach. So they're doing the easy one. I personally would take it up a notch. I'm more afraid of what Stan Bowman would do with his team than what Kris Knoblauch would do with his team. But they're going to take the easy route. But at the same time, I think Cassidy could be a positive impact on this team.
Absolutely. I will add this too, though. I've seen a lot of criticism of the Edmonton Oilers that they've just go and there's no process in place when it comes to hiring general managers. Largely, Peter Chiarelli was available. The Oilers just went Peter Chiarelli, Ken Holland. Like they were interviewing, they interviewed Bill Zito, but then also Ken Holland was available. They go get Ken Holland, and then out of nowhere, Jeff Jackson's brought in, and then Stan Bowman's brought in. There's no interview process. When was the last time the Oilers actually went through an interview process for their head coach?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Like if we go backwards, there was no process. It wasn't open. They weren't talking with multiple candidates when Kris Knoblauch got hired. They didn't talk to multiple candidates when Jay Woodcroft got hired. They were mid-season. Dave Tippett, I don't believe there was, maybe at that time, I don't recall a full search when that season, maybe that one, maybe that was, they talked a little bit more. Todd McClellan, they just zeroed in on Todd McClellan. He got let go. They went for him.
What?
And that would be the one thing, though, I'm a little would be a bit worried. But now I know that you've got 1 year.
Yeah.
And so you're going with that veteran guy. But it's sometimes, once again, this organization, if it's maybe the Dave Tippett one in McDavid's era, but between GMs and head coach, one time where you've made multiple changes, did you actually go and do the process and hire who you felt was best through that process and not this shiny toy? Mm-hmm. And to a degree, Bruce Cassidy's the shiny toy because he's got the ring, he's got the pedigree, but it's zero in taking him. And not doing a full process of maybe there's someone else that's better for what your organization is. I hope that doesn't bite them. And sorry, before you jump in, Caster99 says, when wasn't the last time McTavish hired Dallas Eakins over John Cooper? I think Cooper would be before that. Dallas Eakins was interviewed to be an assistant to Ralph Kruger. Mm-hmm. Liked him so much, fired Ralph Kruger, hired Dallas Eakins. Sorry.
What was I going to say?
I don't know. I interrupted
Great
you.
question. Squeeze your right fist.
Is that the thing?
Activates the left side of your brain where your majority of your memory is.
Really? Nope, nothing there.
Well.
We're talking about hiring coaches, no interviews, shiny toy.
Couldn't have been that important anyway.
And then I interrupt you to mention Caster.
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm blaming Caster. Kidding, Caster. Kidding.
I mean, I know this isn't a coach, but I remember hearing that Bill Zito interviewed for a GM spot here.
That was the Ken Holland one, but then immediately Ken Holland was available, and they just threw everything away. All their interview stuff away, and they just went to hired Ken Holland.
And I defend Ken Holland. I think majority of the time, there's some people that I think give him too much hate. But yeah, Bill Zito missing that one was.
I felt that way too. I don't know why everyone hated Ken Holland.
Like the Campbell contract, not good. The Nurse one, to me, I blame Chiarelli more than anyone because he bridged them twice. So
I blame Stan Bowman.
And Stan Bowman sets the market with Seth Jones. So then it's like, hey, well, what do you want Holland to do? Trade him? And then it pay him, obviously, horrible contract.
It did look like Nurse was going to take off, though.
Yeah,
sure. I'll give him that.
For sure. Like he had a crazy year that year.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
He was so good.
But if Stan Bowman doesn't set the market at high, sets it at 8.5 or 8.25.
Nurse is making a little high sevens early.
Yeah, it's Stan Bowman ruined it.
Oh, for sure.
The Campbell did not work out one bit. But I did think that once you get into playoffs with this guy, he gives you solid goaltending.
You got Zach Hyman signing, Ekholm trade. Like there's some good stuff, and he found a lot of good extra pieces.
I don't know. I wonder why they let him go.
Why? That they were done with him, and he fought. He was fighting against, I think, and this is why sometimes those books need to be written. And I understand where some of the heat does come from. Ken Holland didn't fully go all in for a lot of people, but he also had to fight to block the noise within that organization. Mm-hmm. It was a functional organization from the outside when you looked in. It was being run normally.
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the dysfunction creeping back in. And I think at the end, it's Ken Holland fought it so much, and the dysfunction won out in the end. And Ken Holland just stopped caring to fight that. And the dysfunction's able to take over, and all these other pieces have come in. But I remember saying going into that Cup final, because it was all he was done. I remember, would there ever be consideration to bring him back for one more year? Let him go because he's so close.
Yep.
Maybe this guy gets it, and it was just no. It's Jeff Jackson. He's going to do okay, and even that was a problem.
Who hired Jeff Jackson?
Daryl Cates would have, I guess. But here's the one thing I would say about the Ken Holland. I don't even mind moving on from Ken Holland. They should have fired him earlier. or they should have just moved on at the start of the season or midway through that season, saying since we're making this process, or they should have had a GM hired before free agency. It should not have been Jeff Jackson going into that free agent. They should have had a GM ready to go, locked in, but they wanted Stan Bowman, so they waited for the Stan Bowman and all that stuff to happen, and he came in late. And then Jeff Jackson went out, spent all that money on July 1st that was praised at the time, but went very poorly, cost them Dylan Holloway, Philip Broberg. They knew they weren't bringing Ken Holland back. They should not have waited to have hired the next general manager. They should have started that process immediately.
Yeah.
Jeff Jackson, you're not doing anything. You're not coaching this team.
Yeah.
You're in the playoffs. You can go interview other people.
Yeah.
Chose
True.
not to do that. That really hurt them in my mind. Is Steve Simmons available, says Chris. Steve Simmons is not available, partly because he is going to be joining Reed Wilkins, Jay Milne today on the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. I don't remember what time. I think 3:40. 3:40. Steve Simmons of the Toronto Sun. He will be on with Reed and Jay today, as will Ed Hervey, the general manager of the Edmonton Elks. Once again, that's 3 to 6 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Iwanyk alongside Benny Thompson. 2:05, Mick Kern's from SiriusXM. He's going to join us to talk some National Hockey League. We also have the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay coming up in this second hour. When we come back, though, we'll continue in the River Cree box. We'll continue in the Nasty Chat, but also it's Hernand's World, so I've got a couple of things to throw your way. That's all to come here on EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
Craig Berube's time in Toronto has come to an end as the Maple Leafs have relieved him of his head coaching duties. Berube spent 2 seasons behind the bench in Toronto, and the Leafs have yet to name a replacement. The NHL has announced the winner of the Calder Trophy today, and to nobody's surprise, Matthew Schaefer took home rookie honors, and in unanimous fashion, Schaefer finished the season with 23 goals and 59 points while helping lead the Islanders to a 91-point campaign. NHL playoff action continues tonight with one game on the schedule as the Avalanche take on the Wild. Colorado will look to close out the series with puck drop set for 6 p.m. In Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays wrap up their 3-game series with the Rays tonight. Tampa Bay has taken the first 2 games of the set. Dylan Cease gets the start for Toronto while Griffin Jacks takes the mound for the Rays. First pitch goes at 5:07. There's also action elsewhere around the majors today as the Yankees and Orioles are underway. That game's in the end of the 8th inning. Orioles still up 7-0. And the Guardians and Angels have wrapped up their game. Guardians take that one 4-2. And on the hardwood, there's one game in the NBA playoffs tonight with the Cavaliers battling the Pistons. That series is tied 2-2 with tip-off set for 6 p.m. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. They're more than just plywood. They offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. Hernand's World, on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson. You're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Kobe, though, is a guy that I would take over LeBron.
Are you kidding me?
There it is. I think he's upset. Is that the top 5?
Yeah, I think it's the top 5 comment. Here we go.
Give me Bill Russell's stats. Give me Will Chamberlain's stats. If somebody wants to put Wilt or Bill Russell ahead of LeBron, I'm not going to argue.
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
Time for a new career in 2026? Or maybe your kid is still pondering their path. Good news! Weiss Johnson is hiring. Hi, it's Dennis, and not only are we hiring for heating and air conditioning, we're also looking for experienced plumbers and gas fitters. With the growth in residential development, there's no shortage of opportunities at Weiss Johnson. Choose your path with us. Learn from one of the industry leaders, and we will grow together. Receive great benefits and school reimbursement as well. Visit weiss-johnson.com today.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Here on EST Afternoons, Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Benny Thompson with here 146 here in Edmonton. River Cree inbox is moving along. Haji wasn't Steos rumored to be the successor to Holland until Ottawa hired him first. He was part of it.
That was a weird time too, right? He was the heir apparent.
He was, but there was also the level of, we knew that if the group that ultimately bought the Sens won the Sens, that he had the connection, he was going to go there. So yeah, there was a little bit of that.
Barbershop window. How does Bowman get a D-? Took him to the Cup in his 5-year plan. Fixed all the crap that was left.
Stan Bowman.
Oh, what am I thinking? I'm thinking
You're thinking Holland.
Jeez, sorry.
I was about to say, you're really defending Stan Bowman all of a sudden. Like,
sorry.
Where did this
Barbershop window, I was
Stan Bowman come from?
God, that's I completely apologize.
No, you're right. Stan Bowman, trash.
Yeah, you're right. D-. Jeez.
Portions of this hour via EST Afternoons brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. The CBH now has happy hour Monday to Saturday, 2 to 6. Prices starting $3.99. Come early, stay longer, save more. The Canadian Brew House. Our house is your house. 2:05, so just under 20 minutes away. Mick Kern from SiriusXM will stop by to talk some NHL with him and the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. We didn't hit yesterday, but my one pick had Manchester City taking on Crystal Palace and City winning, and they are up 1-0 in that one. Oh no, they're up 2-0 halftime. So my play would have gotten going, but that was such an easy one to pick. Let's get to Hernand's World for Edmonton Garrison. We don't know if we have the song for it. We're going to find out what this song is and see if this one works.
Viva la raza!
It's listed as Latino features. Yeah, but it's Hernand's World, so like that's where we.
Yeah, I don't know. You would think it would be labeled.
That's
as
what he plays
Hernand.
before it, right?
Yeah, I think
but
so.
the way it's labeled, it should be for somebody that doesn't know what it is. It should be Hernand's World, so we know what it's.
He makes things so difficult.
That's Coob.
Coob, man.
Oh, is it Coob?
That one's Coob. That one's on Coob. Shake off the rust. Get ready for golf season at the Garrison. EGMGolf.com for more details. It is a wonderful track to go to. Matt and his crew out there do great things. I've always enjoyed golf in Garrison. It's a great mix of, it's got its challenges, but it's not one of those courses that you're just going to walk away and be like, this is the toughest course ever. Oh my! It's a great for beginners, intermediates, and even if you're higher level golfs, Edmonton Garrison Golf, it's the place to go golfing. I've got two ways to go with Hernand's World for today, so we'll sidetrack a little bit.
Toughest golf courses in Edmonton?
No. Actually today's a National Apple Pie Day. It's National Fruit Cocktail Day. It is also International Hummus Day.
Ooh.
Your favorite dip, something to dip into.
I was hoping you wouldn't go down like hummus route there. I was like,
You're not a hummus fan?
No.
Why not?
I just don't like it.
Have you tried it?
I have, yeah. Yes.
Hummus is wonderful. Do you like hummus?
Oh yeah. Not as like I'll it's not my favorite.
Really?
But I like
Pita
it.
chips and hummus is one of my favorite snacks that you go to get.
No, the ultimate is guac.
Just as an everyday?
Oh
You
yeah.
use guac as an everyday thing?
I would eat that every day. Easily.
But okay. I do like a good guac. Do you like guac?
Yeah, I like guac.
That's weird.
I can appreciate guac.
I'm shocked that you eat that. That's amazing. Good for you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Wow.
it. All right, here's mine. Extremely basic. I'll go ranch. I love ranch.
Just ranch dressing.
Just ranch dressing, carrots, wings, pizza, like chips. It's all.
What about blue cheese? Do you ever go the blue cheese with the wing?
It's a great. I love it for the salad.
I usually
Trees dressing for a salad.
I usually avoid wings with blue cheese.
Have you ever tried blue cheese?
I have.
Actual blue cheese.
Maybe not actual. I think I have.
Like not not the flavored stuff, but like an actual piece of cheese that's blue cheese.
So
maybe I haven't then.
Would you eat blue cheese?
That sounds scary.
So good. Remember Outback Steakhouse?
Yes.
They used to have two fillets. You could have one, it was crusted with onions or a blue cheese on one that was baked on the top. And so it ruined me going and playing, living in the UK for a year, because English Blue Stilton, if you go to the store here, you can find it. But over there, because they make it there, it might as well be like Kraft Slices. It's so cheap. So I thought, I was eating all this blue cheese thinking, this is great. I go back home and all of a sudden it's like $20 for this little cube of it. And I was just like, oh, that ruined it for me. But a nice creamy blue cheese dip on your wing, that's good. That's really good.
And then, like, I'm not the biggest chip dip guy. I just eat my chips as is, although hell of a good French onion is fantastic. You need a rippled, like slightly salted Old Dutch rippled. Perfect for it. But hummus might be my thing. They're like, hummus, you could do pita chips, you can do veggies. It's just a solid dip.
What about salsa?
It's not as versatile to me.
I put that on everything.
Do you?
Eggs.
Oh, yeah.
Burritos.
Yeah.
But you're not dipping like your veggies in it.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. Well, we had
So I wouldn't do
bruschetta
that.
is basically salsa, right?
I
Do you like salsa?
I did like salsa.
Yeah, okay, then no wonder you like the bruschetta.
Yeah, I really liked it. I really liked it.
Look at the smile on
I
your
really
face
liked
as
it.
you're talking about salsa.
I really liked it. I did. I wish there was some right here.
Actually, how was the food? What night did you go for food?
That was
2
Monday.
nights ago?
Monday.
How was it?
Really good.
Yeah, okay, wasn't it?
I got a double burger.
Yeah.
So good. So good. I kept the lettuce on it for the people that say I don't eat veggies. Okay. I did take off the pickles, onions, and tomatoes.
Flatboys Burgers.
Flatboys Burgers at Shitty's.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah, so good. I tried their Man Crush beer with the peach slush in it, because that's their thing there. So good.
That's a great spot.
Yeah, highly recommend. We're out in the patio. It's awesome.
Dogs on the patio too.
It is so hard to get into that place on weekends.
Yeah,
it is so hard to get into that place.
We even waited 30 minutes on a Monday at like 7 o'clock. Like
where'd you wait?
On the bench outside.
You should have went to a bar. Had a quick beer.
Because there's one place right across the street. Looks like a villain's lair. We were talking about. Like it's like,
yes,
it's the design, the gray wall, the designs and stuff. It looks like a cartoon villain lair.
You can just rip over to Acme Meats too. Grab some.
That's a little too far.
That's not that far.
No, but like the thing is that makes this place, the Shitty, so great is that they'll give you those like buzzers.
Yeah.
And it's like with the range, you could, and they even like recommend go to one of the other bars. And you go to any of those bars, you grab a pint, you hang out there. I did that not too long ago. Girlfriend and I, we ended up doing a crossword at the one place.
Yeah.
Got the buzzer. Oh, let's go get our food. And we went over to go do back. But it's like there's like 3 different breweries right there you can go drink at. So you're waiting. You're not waiting in their lobby because they don't even have a big one much.
Yeah.
You just go get a beer from somewhere else.
They used to have a punch card that if you hit them all, and they'd give you like a hat or something.
I heard about that.
But it was only for like I
Happy
thought it
Street?
was always, but it's only for like a specific weekend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I went to go do it and then realized it wasn't there.
Oh, okay. Because I heard it's quite the tour. You go down the whole street. You go down.
You have a little map. Like they give you a little map.
Yeah. It's honest. I've heard it's hard to get to Shitties at the end.
Yeah,
You're feeling pretty good by halfway through.
Oh, that's great.
It's a great spot there. It really it's wonderful. They have a market that goes on that rotates certain spots out there. It's a really good area. But yeah, I'm glad that you enjoyed it because the burgers there,
awesome,
top notch.
Yeah,
absolutely top notch.
The sauce they have too. I don't know what sauce it is. They have their own special thing, whatever the hell. They had it with the fries too, so the fries were good too. Yeah, it was incredible. 10 out of 10.
Place across the street is Monolith.
Okay. Yeah, it's the gray walls with like the weird like designs on it and stuff.
Troll says, I love the 7-layer dips. The Wolf. The favorite hummus flavoring is the mixed sriracha and garlic hummus.
Do you go to Costco?
Yeah.
Go get the dill hummus.
Ooh.
Have you ever tried it?
No. And I love anything dill.
Crazy.
Krager has a thing for Benny here.
Right?
The ending says, Ben, you make 0 cents.
Okay.
Ben wouldn't eat mashed potatoes because of the texture, but Ben will eat and enjoy guacamole avocado, which has the texture of butter or margarine.
Okay, yes, but I'm eating that with a chip or I'm not having like mashed potatoes you eat by itself. Like you're
sour cream on it.
Okay, still that's you're adding a condiment to it. With guac you're eating it with a chip, and the same with like salsa or whatever. Like it's an add-on to it. Mashed potatoes, it's its own thing, and I can't just eat it. There's no way I could go and eat a tablespoon of guac. I need it with a chip.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, you give me a spoon of guac, I'll take that down, no problem. Okay, so if we made you a cottage or a shepherd's pie, it's mashed potatoes on top of beef. So when you're taking a bite, it's not just mashed potatoes. There's beef, and there's carrots and peas, and there's cheese.
I just don't know if I like that whole mix. All together at the same time? I don't know.
But you could eat guac.
With chips, yes.
What kind of chips?
So if I throw on a chip.
Any. Throw me any.
We'll
just not spicy ones.
I don't think I can eat guac with just any chip. Has to be a tortilla chip or...
Plain. I guess, yeah, you don't want it with like salt and vinnies or anything. That's too much.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a shepherd's pie nacho recipe. We'll do it on top of a bunch of nacho chips.
Or we'll just really crisp up the top of the mashed potatoes so it's like crunchy.
Sure. That sounds a little bit better, but I can't. I don't know why. It just feels like I'm eating puke with mashed potatoes. I can't do it.
How much do you puke?
Not very often, so I hate being reminded of it with mashed potatoes. I can't do it, guys. Every time Thanksgiving, the whole deal, like everyone's scooping on their plate. I'm just like, I can't do it. Can't do it.
One day you'll learn. One day you'll have it fully, and you'll be like, "My world is so much better because I can eat a shepherd/cottage pie." That was Hernand's world for Edmonton Garrison. EGMGolf.com. Book your tee time to get out golfing out there. Mick Kern's going to join us over video on the Oil Country Towing Hotline on the other side of the break. We got the Screw It, Let's Do It parlay. That's all to come in the second hour, as we're still waiting for any word from the Edmonton Oilers if there's any sort of coaching change coming. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk alongside Benny Thompson. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne.
Every Tuesday during the season, 5 to 5:30, the Mark Killam Show here inside the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne. The Elks fumble 5 times in a game. I'm going to ask Mark Killam about ball security and fumbling. So it's not going to be jokey around. We're all buddies. Hey, look, we got the coach. Aren't we cool? Like, I'm not going to gloss over stuff that happened in games if it needs to be talked about. I want to ask the questions that fans want to know.
The Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Milne, weekday afternoon, 3 to 6, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for flooring? Paramount Flooring has it all. Sales, service, and expert installation. With options for every style and budget, open 7 days a week. We've got you covered. Quick delivery and in-stock deals. Plus, EST listeners get 10% off. Visit ParamountFlooring.ca today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
The Canadian Brewhouse has a happy hour for any scenario. Had a good day? It's time for happy hour. Bad day? Oof, happy hour. Boss said great job? Happy hour. Boss said let's circle back? Ugh, definitely happy hour. Got a promotion? Happy hour. Spilled coffee on your shirt 5 minutes after getting dressed? Ugh, happy hour. So whether you're celebrating or recovering, our happy hour starts at just $3.99. The Canadian Brewhouse. Your day just got happier.
The Maple Leafs are once again searching for a new head coach as Craig Berube has been relieved of his duties after 2 seasons in Toronto. The organization has not yet announced a replacement behind the bench. The NHL also handed out the Calder Trophy today, with Islanders rookie Matthew Schaefer earning unanimous honors after an impressive first season. Schaefer recorded 23 goals and 59 points while helping New York finish this year with 91 points. The Stanley Cup playoffs continue tonight with one game on tap as the Avalanche battle the Wild. Colorado has the chance to eliminate Minnesota with puck drop scheduled for 6 p.m. In MLB action, the Blue Jays close out their 3-game series against the Rays tonight after dropping the first 2 games of the series. Dylan Cease gets the start for Toronto while Griffin Jacks takes them out for Tampa Bay. First pitch is set for 5:07. Elsewhere around the major leagues, the Yankees and Orioles just wrapped up their game. Orioles take that one 7-0, and the Guardians take down the Angels 4-2. Games coming up here at 4:40 with the Pirates and Rockies, Reds, Nationals, Phillies, and Red Sox before the Blue Jays get going at 5:07. And in the NBA playoffs, the Cavaliers and Pistons meet tonight in a pivotal Game 5. That series is tied up 2-2 with tip-off at 6 p.m. Mick Kern coming up here on EST Afternoons. Second hour gets going. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
Back here on EST Afternoons, Matt Iwanyk, Joaquin Gage, Matt in for Hernand Salas, Matt being me, Benny Thompson in for Zachary Kubish. Coming up, we have Hernand's Noticias to get to in this hour. We also have the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay for Play Alberta. That's all to come. River Cree Inbox, 780-218-9999. Tap 25 restaurant. 50% off the entire menu, available 7 days a week from 2 until 5 p.m. Mick Kern from Sirius XM NHL will join us in a few minutes as we're going to talk some National Hockey League and some of the going-ons that is happening across the NHL, both in the playoffs and off of the ice when it comes to the playoffs. So he will be joining us momentarily here as Benny is just getting set up. And then Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. I have an idea for it. I'm ready to go for it. I've told Benny it. I haven't told you, Gager. But we need to approach it differently. And I will bring that up at 1:40 when we get to it. We just need to approach it differently. And a reminder coming up, Reed Welcott Show with Jay Mill. Ed Hervey, general manager of the Edmonton Elks. He's coming up just after 4:40, I believe it is. And then 3:40, Steve Simmons will be on with them. Let's get to the Oil Country Towing hotline for Oil Country Towing, Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. Call 780-986-6088 for all your towing needs. Mick Kern joins us now from Sirius XM. Mick, it's great having you back on. Thanks so much for taking some time. I want to start with, I want an outsider's opinion since we're here in Edmonton. The situation of the Edmonton Oilers reaching out to Vegas for permission to speak to Bruce Cassidy, not being given that permission as of yet. But the Edmonton Oilers also, they still have a head coach under contract in Kris Knoblauch. Still to this very moment, he is the head coach. What's an outside perspective? Like, how do you look at this whole situation from an Oilers standpoint? Oh, I think you're muted right now. Okay, Benny, we'll get you working on that one there. What was Dusty coming in for?
I don't know. He obviously did something. Oh man. I wonder how people look at this.
I was against you and Jay yesterday saying I don't think this is a bad look on the Oilers.
Yeah.
You guys didn't agree with that.
Well,
my reading from a hockey yesterday was they were with you. More people were saying that this isn't a good look. In the Edmonton Oilers.
That's why I kind of sent a late text. I actually felt bad about that afterwards because
It says try now, by the way.
I was scrolling a little bit and saw that a lot of people were saying that this is a really bad look.
That's what I saw. Let's try this again. Mick Kern, Sirius XM. Mick, do we got you here? No, we still don't have the audio. Maybe let's just give him a shout then. Maybe Benny, I sent you his number. We'll just maybe give Mick a call and have him over the phone. Sometimes the technology, it just can't be there. But yeah, like it was. I saw a lot of people ripping on this. Again, I look at it from a different perspective where I've seen it done in other sports in other countries, and this stuff goes on all the time, and it's not a big deal. But for hockey world, it's not what we're used to. So people should be treated better.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like they should have said, "Thank you, Kris. We're going in a different direction."
If I'm the Oilers, I'm willing to have that bad look because if Bruce Cassidy says no, I'm okay with Kris Knoblauch. That's what I would say.
If you're in the realm that thinks that Bruce Cassidy is the right,
yes.
So you're in the Cassidy camp.
No, if that's who they believe. I'm in the camp of I don't think there's a lot of people better than Kris Knoblauch out there. That if it's not Bruce Cassidy, maybe there's someone else. Okay, we're going to do this over the phone. Mick Kern joins us. Mick, sorry about that. Don't know what's going on. Sometimes our system could be a little bit weird with all of that stuff. So I'll just ask you again, like from an outsider's perspective, not in the Edmonton market, how do you view this whole situation with Bruce Cassidy, the Oilers, Kris Knoblauch, Vegas? What's your take on this?
Well, my take is, you can hear me now, right?
Yes, we do.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
No worries.
My take is, are you trying to be the Toronto Maple Leafs? Does it always have to be about the Oilers? I think of the 7 Canadian teams, the Oilers and the Leafs take up the most oxygen. There's these great playoff series going on, and we always find a way to talk about these two teams, and I'm not saying we shouldn't. And they both are in situations, one is, just fired their head coach, not a surprise to me. And the other, I'll answer your question this way. I don't think the Oilers are a Stanley Cup contender unless you're going to do something radical. How are they going to get better next year than Colorado, Minnesota, Dallas, and an improving Anaheim team, an improving San Jose team? Vegas are still there. I don't understand how they're going to get better. Where are they going to find this magical goalie? What are they going to do with Darnell Nurse? What about the secondary scoring? There is some. Connor McDavid will assume he's at 100% to start the season. You've got 2 of the best players we've ever seen. I acknowledge that. Evan Bouchard, I would have had him as a Norris finalist, not as a winner. So you've got that. But guys, I don't think you guys are a Stanley Cup contender anymore. Is that the consensus in Edmonton, or do you guys still believe you can get to the top of the mountain with this current incarnation?
I would say as is. There's a potential to have a better season next year because of all the injuries, but not yes, this team is ready to go win a Stanley Cup. That there needs to be certain moves that are done this offseason to push the window back up for a championship contention. But it could easily be just completely shut at the end of this upcoming season, if that makes sense.
You're never going to have me on again. I think it's already shut. I think it's shut. Unless they do radical things. And here's what I say. I hope McDavid stays in order forever. But here's what I'm going to say about that. So do you put all your chips in, guys, to win a cup in the next 2 years to prove to him? Because he's done everything he can as a citizen of Edmonton and for the Oilers. I don't begrudge him anything. He's played above and beyond. I think all of our fans would agree with that. But if he wants to stay there for the rest of his career, and the end is a lot closer than the beginning now for a lot of these guys, and he wants one shot, because you don't want to be the guy at the Hall of Fame ceremony being asked by people like me, how does it feel to be in the Hall of Fame without winning a Stanley Cup? You don't want that annoying question, though. It's a fair question. So do you put everything in, guys? And if you do make a run for it, then you deplete the rest of the team for the next 5 or 6 years? And does he want to re-sign with that? Or do you sell him more on, we're not going to win the next 2 years, but we are going to win the next 3 or 4, and you're still going to be not in the prime of your career. You're still going to be putting up 100 points. You're still going to be a key player. This is our plan. Because to me, if you panic and bring in a Bobrovsky or a Binnington who are past their best before dates, Bobrovsky could probably still get one more kick. I don't believe in Binnington at all as a Stanley Cup goaltender anymore. If you do that, I think you're going to lose McDavid, because I don't think, unless you're doing something radical that I don't know what's happening, this team isn't winning the Stanley Cup in the next 2 years. I just don't see it, guys.
Yeah, Mick, a lot of people are talking about how the last two, you have to do something with these 2 years. It's actually 1 year. I'm more in your camp where the time to do something was in this last season when you got the deal of a century with Connor taking a massive pay cut and the fumbling of management with the evaluation of talent that they brought into longer term deals that have really hampered their next decision making of how they can improve this team. But saying that, Mick, I Berube's out, and in Toronto it seemed like they wanted the tyrant, the guy to hold players accountable. Now there's rumblings about Cassidy if he goes to Toronto, but obviously here in Edmonton there's a lot of Edmonton Oilers fans that would like this because I think he brings that accountability. But we saw what happens in Toronto with a coach that comes in and wants accountability. It doesn't always work. Do you think that the current roster construction with the 2 stars with the Edmonton Oilers, are they capable of having a Bruce Cassidy and all of a sudden having to answer for maybe a shift that's not at 100% or possibly cheating on the offensive side? Just the attention to detail isn't there for the whole 60 minutes.
Wow. I'll answer it this way. You remember Mike Keenan, who wanted desperately to be Scotty Bowman, but nobody could be Scotty Bowman. Keenan was good in short circumstances to me. Team Canada, New York Rangers for 1 year, kind of like what Torts is doing right now with Vegas, some similarities. But I think and why I'm bringing this up is because I think those guys will respond, but it might be a short marriage. If they're on the cusp of a Stanley Cup, then I think McDavid and Draisaitl would go, okay, what do we need to do? We're all in. You need even more? I'm going to sacrifice points so we can do it. Yeah, I think they'd be all in. It'd be a short-term thing. But if you're Bruce Cassidy, of course you want to coach in the NHL. But look at Pete DeBoer. He said, I'm not going to just take any job. And then he took the Islander job. So make it that way you will. But I'm not sure if that's good or bad. There's only so many jobs. You don't want to sit out forever. You become yesterday's man. I think he's intriguing for so many reasons. He's got a cup. He's been a successful coach. But he's got that Mike Keenan, Pat Burns shelf life. They all do. But some of these guys, the taskmasters, really do with the athletes today and for the past probably 20 or 30 years. I think it would be an intriguing fit in Edmonton, intriguing fit in Toronto. LA's kicked the tires. There may be some more openings. I just keep circling back to, I said this in another show yesterday, it's like getting nice rims on your car, but the tires are flat. Big deal. So they look good, but it's not moving. And to me, that's Edmonton. This isn't a bad team. They'll probably make the playoffs next year. Well, I can't assume that, but I think they probably will. But they didn't win a playoff series. And I don't see them necessarily. They may win a playoff series next year, but they're not going to be better than the behemoths in the Central. And here comes Utah, and here comes San Jose. And I think Toronto's kind of in the same boat. They've got 2 really good, not as good as Draisaitl and McDavid, but Matthews and Nylander are very good players when Matthews is healthy. And they're kind of in the same conundrum. And I think the worst thing that happened to the Leafs is they won the lottery. Because now they're like, we can just pivot. We can just pivot. And again, I'll take the pick. Don't get me wrong, guys. But there was this, okay, we need to, no one likes the word rebuild, right? It's retool, reset, rejig, reset, refit, reconfigure, whatever word you can think about. But they don't want to see rebuild. And then suddenly the Leafs win. It's like, we can fast track this. I don't care if 2 of you guys are coaching. I'm coaching. Glenn Sather's coaching. While Bill Hunter comes back to coach, whatever it may be. Claire Drake comes back to coach, whatever it may be. I just don't think the cast is deep enough. And we saw the fissions in the divisions in the not in the group in the room, but just in the talent base. They're just not good enough. And Connor McDavid at the end, this is always my giveaway. You guys tell me because you're in the market, though I watch the games. When he looks like he's trying to go through the whole team at the end, I can see his frustration. Like, I'm going to do this. And we've seen him do it at times, right? And to me, that's just almost like that's when it gets to the end. He wants to win so badly. And I have a feeling if he's going to win, it's not going to be in the oil drop uniform. I'm not happy saying that. Anyone listening, I'm from Toronto. I've never been a Leafs fan for 1 second. So let's get that clear. I don't see it, guys. I'm just kind of doom and gloom here right now. I don't think it has to be doom and gloom for long, but I think it's going to be doom and gloom with Connor McDavid. I don't think he's going to win a cup with the Oilers.
No, and that's the thing. Like, I agree with everything you said a little earlier in that they don't need to win a cup necessarily to keep him, but you've got to show that the window is opening up and that you've turned the tide the other way. But you have to do that. You have a year to do that, because next summer you also can't go into a final year of that contract with him. And I also think he's the type of guy that wouldn't necessarily want to leave the Oilers completely, without anything, that he'd probably want to out a year prior so the Oilers could get a little bit of assets for him, as opposed to just completely walking away from this organization. But we're with Mick Kern, Sirius XM. Let's quickly look at Toronto. And I know Bruce Cassidy is a guy here for Edmonton. You mentioned him for a little bit, Toronto, but Bruce could only coach in one place. If Bruce Cassidy is not available for the Toronto Maple Leafs, what type of coach do you think John Chayka is kind of looking for and should really be looking for to run the ship for the Leafs for the next couple of years?
I'm not sure he even wants a guy like Bruce Cassidy. He's look, he goes off the board. It was a mess the first time. He's that much older. I hope he's that much more mature. He's definitely smart. Does that translate to building smart hockey teams? I shall have a front row seat. I'm looking forward to it. This is almost like a repeat of Kyle Dubas coming in, the wonder kid with the numbers who came up through the system, and then with the Marlies, and they won there. They won the AHL championship, the Calder Cup. And then he came in and brought in his own coach, Sheldon Keefe. And I wonder if this is kind of like the second take of this, but with different people, that they're going to go off the board. They're not going to recycle a coach. And if that's the case, I mean, Spencer Carberry had to get a start somewhere, right? In fact, he even worked for the Leafs for a while. I love when new blood comes in, but people have to give them time. And in this market, I mean, Edmonton and Toronto, to me right now, are the two crazy Canadian markets, as I said, because they know their hockey. They have expectations. Well, Edmonton does. I don't know where Toronto gets their expectations, folks. I don't know what that's about. But if I were the Leafs, I would stop this. We can turn around and get back to the playoffs next year. You can, but where are you going to go? Like, are you better? Are you better than the improving Buffalo Sabres? Montreal, even if they lose the series, because I still think they're going to Buffalo, they're going to be better. Ottawa needs to work on some stuff. They're going to be better. Washington are coming. They did a quick turnaround. There's just teams getting better. And Florida thinks they can do that turnaround. And they got a high draft pick too, which is weird. So even if Toronto turns it around, where are you going, boys? Like, are you Stanley Cup contenders the next 3 years? I don't see it. But I think this is where the cynicism comes in. And folks listening, I hate to do this, but it is a business. And the Leafs, more than any other team except maybe the Rangers, make the most money in the league.
Yep.
And it makes sense. They're in the biggest metropolitan area. They have the biggest TV contracts. And no playoff hockey is a lot of money not going in coffers. So I think it behooves them to be back in the playoffs. And sometimes that may come at the cost of doing a long-term build. I think they're looking for a golden bullet. They're looking for silver bullet, I guess. They're looking for the silver bullet. They should instead probably drink the silver bullet, take some time, relax. I think the Leafs are a couple of years away from doing anything seriously. If they rush it, they're going to screw this up, in my opinion. And final word on this, I think Chayka knows that. And I think, kind of like when Kyle Dubas went to Pittsburgh, this is what I think happened in Pittsburgh. Okay, we think we're going to take one more run with the old guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll do that, but then I want to run it my way. Okay, Kyle. Well, they took one more run. They made the playoffs. They got punted out by a young Philly team. No embarrassment, but this team's not going any further with those old guys at some point. They've got to get younger. They've got a lot of guys in the pipe in Pittsburgh. Kyle will get to put his fingerprints on the team. I think Dubas wants the same thing. Yeah, we can take a run at it. To me, in some ways, the best thing that might be happening is that they actually trade Auston Matthews, and I can't believe I'm saying that, because I think healthy, he can still get you 40, 45, 50 goals. He may never score 69. He won't score 69 again, but he's still a gunner. I watch him. He's got that unreal release that still throws goalies off. They don't know what's coming. It's the modern stick on the ice. He's perfected that release early. Carey Price is still looking for some of the pucks. And I think maybe that would be Marner was one thing, but now you've got a replacement potentially for Marner if you go with McKenna, who I think they'll do. I think this is more of a spiritual one than even Marner, that they built this team around Matthews. They took the C away from Tavares, which I didn't like, gave it to Matthews. This is Matthews' team, and it has been inconsequential in the time he's been there. Is that all on him? No, but he has to take some of the responsibility. It's not just Mitch Marner, who, by the way, is having a great playoff somewhere else right now, guys.
Mick, are we looking at the inevitability of a Hurricane Avalanche finals here with what's left in the NHL?
I'm going to tell you I hope so, because I think it would be a heck of a series. The old New England Whalers against the Quebec Nordiques, right? If you follow it all the way back to the WHA, and you know I love to. Because I think Colorado are so good. Right, they led the league in goal scoring. They had the best defense. The only thing not working was their power play. We've talked about that when I was on before. Everything else seems to work. They're getting the main scoring, the secondary scoring, the tertiary scoring. Kadri fits in nicely. Brock Nelson from last year fits in nicely. Kelly scored a goal the other night. Their defense is going. It's not just a one-man show like it is in Minnesota with so many injuries that it's got to be Quinn Hughes, and as super as he is, he's playing like 32 minutes, which is ridiculous. I just think nobody's beating the Avalanche in the West. In the East, I love to see Carolina finally get to the Stanley Cup final. They haven't been there since 2006 when they won. That's a generation ago. That's 20 years ago. So they always get to the playoffs. They're kind of like Edmonton in that sense. At least Edmonton got to 2 Stanley Cup finals and came to within an inch of winning. And you got to respect anyone that gets to a final. It's an accomplishment unto itself. I don't think Montreal or Buffalo will beat Carolina, though I think both will push them. But it all hinges on Freddie Anderson. You know that. You know about goaltending. He was like Stuart Skinner. He was good, and then he'd give up one bad goal, and you go, Freddie, what's going on here? Guys, I haven't seen that this spring. Now, they've had the easiest path. They swept 2 teams. Ottawa put up a fight, but they were going to win that series. Philly put up a fight. They were going to win that series. So their real test hasn't come yet. It will be Montreal or Buffalo. I think it's Buffalo. And then it will be Colorado. I haven't seen anything yet to convince me that anyone's better than Colorado or Carolina. I think they're the best 2 teams as it stands on this afternoon.
Mick, always appreciate the time. Sorry about the video issues from our end a little bit earlier. Enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of the playoffs. We'll catch up another time.
Anytime. Thanks, guys.
Mick Kern, Sirius XM right there with some fantastic stuff on the Oil Country Towing Hotline. Fast, safe, reliable for over 15 years. Edmonton's most trusted 24/7 roadside rescue team. We're late to bake. On the other side, we'll get to Hernand's Noticias, as well as the Skirt. Let's do a parlay to wrap up the show as well. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Iwanyk. We're going to get to Benny for a sports update. This is EST Afternoons on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
Craig Berube has officially been fired as head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs after 2 seasons with the club. Toronto has yet to announce who will replace him behind the bench. The NHL has also relieved its Calder Trophy winner today, with Islanders rookie Matthew Schaefer unanimously taking home the award. Schaefer put together an impressive rookie campaign with 23 goals and 59 points, helping New York to a 91-point season. Stanley Cup playoffs continue tonight with 1 game on the schedule as the Avalanche take on the Wild. Colorado will look to punch its ticket to the next round with puck drop set for 6 p.m. In Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays wrap up their 3-game series against the Rays tonight. Tampa Bay has won the opening 2 games of the series. Dylan Cease gets the start for Toronto, while Griffin Jacks goes for the Rays' first pitch. It's at 5:07. There's also other action around the majors going on right now. The Orioles take it to the Yankees 7-0. That game is over, and the Guardians beat the Angels 4-2. You got the Pirates and Rockies going at 4:40, along with the Nationals and Reds, and Phillies and Red Sox before the Jays get going at 5:07. And in the NBA playoffs tonight, the Cavaliers square off against the Pistons in a series that's tied 2-2. Tip-off is scheduled for 6 p.m. More of EST Afternoons on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
Worksite ready, Western tough. Lamley's Workwear is calling all tradespeople, oil and gas crews, construction workers, farmers, and hard-working Canadians. Built for the job with quality craftsmanship, job site protection, and cowboy-worthy durability. Trusted brands like Ariat Work and Wrangler Rigs, designed for performance and all-day comfort on the toughest sites. No matter the season, Lamley's has the workwear you need. Shop the full range now at lamleys.com/work.
LAMMLES.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
Goodwill is
One shopper. Finding something I never knew I needed. A jacket. A deal. One donor. Letting go of something so someone else can move forward.
One program participant.
Learning,
Trying.
building skills,
Building confidence.
building a future.
One purchase. One donation.
One job. One choice.
Goodwill is
The power of one. The power of one. The power of one.
The power of one.
Goodwill Industries of Alberta. It all starts with one.
Your home for great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
God, I wish I could meet somebody like you online. She's got me in the friend zone.
Don't miss Morgan Jay's musical comedy May 23rd. 9 p.m. show is sold out. Second 6 p.m. show added. Tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. So next time you place a wager on your favorite team, know that you're also making a difference across the province through Alberta's General Revenue Fund. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/EST. Must be 18 plus. If you gamble, use your game sense.
.226 here on EST Afternoons. Iwanyk and Hernand Salas alongside Joaquin Gage of Benny Thompson, who's in for Zachary Kubish. Jay Milne will be in the chair tomorrow with Joaquin Gage alongside Benny. As I won't be here tomorrow. I don't know if I'm allowed to say where I'm going or not. I don't know.
Why?
But I don't know if it's allowed or not.
Oh, okay.
Who's gonna get mad at you?
Well, I don't know if it's I have I'm going there. Maybe I have jury summons for tomorrow. I've been summoned.
No way.
I've been summoned for 8:30 tomorrow to be possibly part of a jury in the city. I don't know. I don't know if the province knows what they're getting into by giving me this jury summons. I'm going to be dictating things to the judge, and I don't know. Are you sure about that one?
He did nothing wrong. Man.
You know how my son got summoned to do it, and he didn't want to go. I go, dude, you might go to jail if you don't show up. So he showed up, and this is what he was like. He got really mad because he was the first one they asked.
Yeah.
And they go, okay, we'll select you. Every other person came in and goes, I have a relationship with the defendant. They all said it, and they all got, okay, you're done. You're done. And my son was like, if I only went second or third, I would have said that. And so if you want out, you just say, I have a close relationship with the defendant.
So this, Jasmine, yes, you're allowed to say it, just nothing about the details of the case. Perfect. Tomorrow I find out apparently what the case is, and then they go through the process of the selection. I've always wanted to do jury duty. I've gotten this summons once before, and then it got canceled like 2 weeks prior. So now I'm going, I don't want just some random case. Like I want a solid, like, this is 6 o'clock news type case. That's what I've kind of always wanted. So I'll be there tomorrow.
Maybe it's the voting registration stuff, Maddie.
Do you have any bias in this one? No, I have a feeling media might help be a reason I get knocked out. Although Connor Halley, when he was at 1260, he got selected and he was part of jury duty.
How great would this be if you get sequestered for like 6 months?
See, that's what I want. Like, I want a good 2 months sequestered. I'm a cut away from the rest of the world. I'll do so much reading.
Go watch Pauly Shore's Jury Duty for some and 12 Angry Jurors. Go watch all this the movies and stuff.
Yeah, Aiden O'Malley's going to be part of a week-long case where he has to be shacked up in a monitored hotel. Yeah, give me that. That's what I want.
Or
if I'm doing that, I don't want just some like one day boring thing.
What's the
like
John
civil
Cusack
dispute
one?
or something? I don't know, but I am excited about that a little bit tomorrow. But I'm also like nervous about actually being selected because if depending how long it is, it messes with things here. But that's where I'll be tomorrow. Portions of this hour of the Hang Up before you get there is for Lamley's, built for the job, made with quality craftsmanship and designed for job protection with cowboy-worthy durability. Lamley's workwear combines safety with all-day comfort, designed to withstand tough conditions and deliver performance across every job site. Visit them, lamleys.com/work to see how Lamley's can make your workday better.
LAMMLES.
What was it?
Have you ever seen Runaway Jury?
No.
Oh, that's a good one. That might be a good topic for Red Light District tomorrow.
Casino dealer Jay, no technology when you get shacked up in the hotel, though. I'm fine with that.
Wow.
That actually kind of would be nice to be forced to be away with some things. As long as I could bring like 2 books, like that they could review and make sure the books are fine. Let me pick my books that I want to bring in.
What about an Xbox?
Well, that's an interesting thing. They say no TVs or electronics allowed when sequestered, so you don't get any of that. I'm okay. Let me have playing cards or something. Baptized Big U says, tell them you're host number 2 of the lock shop. No, they'll let you away from your people. So that might be one of my ways to get in there.
That would be great.
So much reading I could possibly get done. I always say I want to do it. And can I get what type of workouts? Can I go for runs or am I not allowed? I can get some nice runs in.
But I think it would be great. Like the perfect time for jury duty and be. I guess you couldn't though. But Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out.
Yeah. Yeah. Depending when the trial is, I would like. Hopefully it'd be like winter.
Yeah.
I don't want to be sequestered in the summer.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, like back when I was playing Chell for those couple of years. Oh, if you gave me 3 days of just an Xbox, no problem. I'd be fired up. But this kind of reminds me like COVID when it first started. Everyone was in quarantine and stuff. I just play video games all day.
Red Dead. I remember my son playing Red Dead. Just like. I think he came and started walking around like a cowboy. He played that so much.
We need to get to Hernand's Noticias, which is for the Edmonton Elks. It doesn't start on game day. It starts before kickoff. Get your single game tickets today and be there for every hit, catch, and touchdown. Lock your seats now at goelks.com/tickets. Dave in Section T says Maddie wants to be the foreman. I don't know what the foreman does of the jury.
You go watch Runaway Jury. It's got Gene Hackman.
I love Gene Hackman.
John Cusack and Rachel Weisz is in that. Hey, I think you would like that one, Maddie.
The big stories for Hernand's Noticias. Mark Spector said today, as of 11:37 a.m. Mountain Time, Kris Knoblauch had not been fired by the Edmonton Oilers. It's expected that he'll be let go possibly by the end of today, so we're still waiting to hear on that. The Colorado Avalanche later tonight have a chance to finish off the Minnesota Wild. That's the lone game in the NHL. Over in the NBA, the Pistons and the Cavs are meeting 2 games apiece. That series is tied. That will go out in Detroit. And in Premier League action, as Man City is trying to keep it close with Arsenal for the top spot. We're getting close to the end of that one. City's up 2-0 in the 75th minute for that one. And earlier today, Craig Berube, he has been fired by the Leafs after 2 seasons. The Canadian Grand Prix organizers are preparing for an earlier race date than they're used to and a possible dealing with the playoff run of the Montreal Canadiens. They're having to make sure that they work that out properly. And Schaefer from the Islanders wins the Calder, was awarded it today on Good Morning America. Then it was announced. We're kind of confused as to why the announcement was made today. They have an NHL award show, so why are winners getting announced? So we don't know why this one was announced, but that one was done. And Canada Soccer will unveil its men's national team roster May 29th on TSN, 5 o'clock Edmonton time. So May 29th, that's when we'll know who will be the Team Canada for this upcoming World Cup. Oh, the foreman gives the decision.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'd be nervous.
You just hand the bailiff the sheet of paper. Hey, speaking of awards and stuff, I think that should all be at the draft. I think the first overall pick, you announce the Hart, and then you do a couple more picks. You do it all. I think that would be great because then the young guys see.
Yeah, they see
these guys, and they're the big dogs. Yeah. I think that would be because really that award show is tough. Man.
Yeah.
I'll be intrigued to see how the NHL draft goes this year because it'll be the second year it's decentralized. And last year it didn't go well, but that's because the production behind it was just awful. From a fan's perspective, it was terrible. And I know a lot of people ripped on it, but clearly the GMs were okay with it for the most part because they accepted it for another year. It can be done well. The NFL does it. The NBA does it. It can be done well. We'll see if the NHL learned from their mistakes from last year. The NHL, where is the draft this year? Is it Buffalo? It is in Buffalo this year. There you go. That's Hernand's Noticias. Oh, the Yankees also lost to the Orioles today, 7-0. Wasn't a good game. I was watching it partly on the show. That's okay. Yankees are 27-17. They're having a good start to their season. I'm very pleased about that one. Jasmine saying NFL announced Thanksgiving Eve game. Rams at Packers. What? They're doing a... Oh, I think that may have been announced because they didn't do that last year. That's a Wednesday game. Because if it's Thanksgiving Eve, that's on Wednesday. I will say this because here it is. The schedule gets announced later today, if I'm not mistaken. But November 25th, there will be a game on a Wednesday. So the NFL is going to play two Wednesday games this year. They're opening on a Wednesday, and then this one's being played on a Wednesday. They have Thursdays, obviously. They have Saturdays. They have Sundays. They are playing on Friday to start the season. They play Mondays, obviously. The only day of the week not having National Football League this upcoming season right now is Tuesday. We are getting closer to my theory that the NFL will be a 7-day-a-week league.
That's awful.
It's all going to be primetime games. Like, the more and more they do these primetime games, the less games there are on Sunday. And that's one thing that NFL fans do love is watching 8 games on a Sunday morning. But we're getting to a point where there'll be 4 games on a Sunday in the morning. And they're just going to space out these games. So you have teams are going to have 10, 12 days off between games. But we're going to have double headers every night. Monday through Sunday, except maybe the fight, there'll be a period of time where they can't do it on the Saturdays because of the laws, or Fridays, or there are certain laws in the States that prevent some of them, but we'll be watching on a regular basis. I think it's in the next 20 years, NFL football on a Tuesday and a Wednesday on a consistent basis.
Too much.
I agree. They'll ruin fantasy because I don't know how fantasy would work at those points. But the NFL doesn't care because when they put up a game on primetime, look at the numbers. They took Christmas Day from the NBA. Yeah. Just took it. The NBA built it for years. Great numbers. The NFL had a couple games and actually, we like this day. We're taking it.
It's dumb.
They do whatever the hell they want. Your thoughts, River Crew Inbox 780-218-9999 for the latest shows, rivercrewresort.com. Okay, when we come back, we're going to lock this in. Oh, this one comes in from the inbox. Well, I'm going to hold off on that one right now. Let me look at that in the commercial break. I shouldn't have said that. When we come back, screw it. Let's do a parlay for Play Alberta. I have something we need to do going into the screw it. Let's do it. So I would bring that up on the other side. He's Joaquin Gage. I'm Matt Iwanyk alongside Benny Thompson. Reminder, 3 to 6. Reed Welkin Show with Jay Milne. And then on our audio streams at 6 o'clock, it's Crush Performance with Jeff Kershell. You're listening to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta.
The Toronto Maple Leafs are looking for a new head coach after parting ways with Craig Berube following 2 seasons behind the bench. The team has not yet named a replacement. The NHL announced its Calder Trophy winner earlier today, with the Islanders rookie Matthew Schaefer earning the award in unanimous fashion. Schaefer finished his rookie campaign with 23 goals and 59 points while helping New York reach 91 points on the season. The NHL playoffs continue tonight with a lone matchup as the Avalanche face the Wild. Colorado has an opportunity to eliminate Minnesota with puck drops set for 6 p.m. In MLB action, the Blue Jays close out their 3-game series set against the Rays tonight after Tampa Bay claimed the first 2 games. Dylan Cease gets the ball for Toronto while Griffin Jax starts for the Rays. First pitch is scheduled for 5:07. Elsewhere around baseball, 2 games have wrapped up. The Orioles beat the Yankees earlier today, and the Guardians take down the Angels. At 4:40, there's 3 games on tap with Rockies and the Pirates facing off, Nationals and Reds, and Phillies and Red Sox. And on the NBA side, the Cavaliers and Pistons continue their playoff series tonight with things tied at 2-2. Tip-off goes at 6 p.m. Screw it, let's do it on the other side of the break. I'm Ben Thompson, and you're up to date.
At Firehouse Subs, our subs are freshly toasted, stacked high, and crafted to satisfy. Each sub is piled high with premium meats, melty cheese, and toasted to perfection. Firehouse Subs brings bold flavor to every bite, all served on a freshly toasted roll. But we're not just feeding Edmonton, we're fueling it. Dig into the brisket hat trick, piled with slow-smoked brisket and melty cheese. Or go to the Firehouse Subs fan favorite, the Hook and Ladder. Made to order with smoked turkey, honey ham, and Monterey Jack cheese on a perfectly toasted roll. With 15 Firehouse Sub locations across Edmonton and the greater area, it's easy to grab a hot and hearty sub close to home. Firehouse Subs. Hot, hearty, made to satisfy.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Hey sports fans, I'm Alistair Johnston with Canada Soccer. The biggest sporting event in the world is coming to Canada this summer, and we hope that you're just as excited as we are. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I can't wait to share it with the whole country.
Sentinel Storage, official storage partner of Canada Soccer.
It's the weekend, the sun is out, and everyone, yes, even the kids, are bored. Bring them to the Canadian Brewhouse. Our patios have games to keep the whole family going, rooftop views, real turf to run around on, and misters for when the summer gets serious. Oh, and we've still got the game on, always, all day, all weekend, all summer. The Canadian Brewhouse, Canada's best patios.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Back here for the final segment of EST Afternoons on this Wednesday, May 13th, 2:42 here in Edmonton. Matt Iwanyk in for Hernand Salas alongside Joaquin Gage and Benny Thompson. 18 degrees in Edmonton. Supposed to get up to 23. Chance of showers today, 30% chance. You're saying you're thinking it looked like it was a little bit of a storm. Tonight, we're going to drop to an overnight low of about 10 degrees. Rainy early tomorrow morning. Gusts of upwards of 40 kilometers starting later tonight. Tomorrow morning, gusts of upwards of 80 could happen and into the afternoon tomorrow. Tomorrow, a high of 12 with rain. Friday, a high of 12 with chance of showers as well. Saturday, 8 and cloudy. Sunday, cloudy and 12. Monday, mix of sun and cloud and 16 degrees. So that's the forecast for the Edmonton area for the next little bit. Do need some rain, but we also do need some of that sunshine and keep that sunshine going. We need to get to the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay, which is for Play Alberta. Download the app, visit them, playalberta.ca. When you bet with Play Alberta, you give back to Alberta. That's because it's the only app in the province that puts all revenue directly back into supporting programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. Visit playalberta.ca/EST to learn more. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense. Let's hit it.
Screw it, let's do it, no delay. Let's take a risk today. No sense of being safe. They need a huge payday.
You've actually learned the words.
I did.
Did you study that last night or something?
I saw in the nasty chat last show that the one part I didn't know was
because right off the bat you were singing and it threw me off that you knew where we're going with that.
That's great. Well, he's a lead singer.
Damn, I'm very impressed. Crushing it this week with all of that. Okay, so this leads into last week. Things were not going well, not getting the hits on the Screw It, Let's Do It. Friday, yesterday, Monday, I don't know why I did it in that order. Friday, Monday, Tuesday, I said, let's just build something, let's get something, and let's just go get a win. That hasn't worked either. So what I am suggesting here today
is to Screw It, Let's Do It?
Yes, we go back to the roots.
Yeah.
We get back to the roots of the Screw It, Let's Do a Parlay. We're going to throw 3 things in there. We're going to look, we're going to make our picks, we're going to be supportive of everyone's picks, and screw it, let's do it. That's how we're building the parlay.
Then I'm going first.
Okay, Gage, you go first.
Going.
Screw it, let's do it.
Colorado Avalanche to cover.
Okay.
Boom.
Boom.
Let's put that one in there.
Hey, how about this? Martin Necas point.
Mm.
They're covering. Okay. Necas is in all over it.
Like it.
I'm going to go with the Pistons cover against the Cavs tonight.
Perfect.
Okay, so Pistons minus 3.5 at home against those Cavs. You have a Necas point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you have the Avs covering.
Yep.
Necas, where are you? There you are.
Netter to cover.
Okay. Boom, plus 331.
Yep.
Before a boost, we'll get that to plus 350. Boom, you want to know something? Screw it. Let's do it. No thought.
I like that one.
We just went in on that. Pistons minus 3.5. Avs minus 1.5. Marty Necas, 1+ points. Plus 331 initially. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's go.
That's right.
That was easy, says Casino Dealer J. Yeah, because you want to know something? That's how we're going back to the roots of what this segment is. We're going back to the roots of Play Alberta. Screw it, let's do a parlay here on EST Afternoons. And Hernand's not here to rip on Coop's picks.
Ugh. Thank God.
This is how we're going about doing this.
No hearing of, he's due. He's due.
There's no second-guessing picks. I love everything. I love this one.
It is nice having Coob just chew up all the time with his reasoning behind it.
So the reason why I chose Martin Necas was because with his time on ice, he plays with Nathan McKinnon. I think he's going to get an empty netter.
Maddie, out in the real world, do you get noticed from EST and your time at 1260 at times?
Very rarely.
But it happens.
It has happened. It generally has happened going to or from Rogers Place before a game or something, just with sports fans. It generally hasn't happened. I'm not that known. I'm not important.
Benny, what about you with your newfound fame?
Like here or there, not a lot, but there's been a couple times I've been stopped. I'm like, oh, listen to you guys.
It's funny because today on the dog walk, I'm at the dog park and a nice woman comes in. And she's got 2 dogs, and we start talking, and I don't know how it got to it, but your kids, and one's at Mount Carmel, it plays hockey. I go, oh, and I shouldn't have said this, but I go, oh, is Paul Manning his coach? She goes, oh yeah, he works with Paul. You know Paul? I go, yeah. And I go, well, how do you know Paul? I go, well, I used to play hockey against him or whatever, and she goes, oh, you played hockey, and so we start, and now I'm going, I don't really want to. Do I start tooting my own horn and saying how great I used to be and who I played with, and just completely big league this woman? But I don't want to, right? But then she becomes the inquisitor and starts asking me all these questions about, oh, where'd you play? I go, oh, where didn't I play? And I just, then she goes, my brother played hockey. And I go, oh, where? He played a little bit here, and he was over in Europe. I go, oh, where in Europe? And I think she said Austria or something like that. And I said, oh, cool. And I go, you play in Europe? Yeah. Where'd you play? Germany, and Sweden. Where was your favorite place to play and stuff? So it's getting closer and closer to where, oh, you played here too? And I go, yeah, I played a little bit here too. But I think she thought
Just
North
in
America?
town.
Not
yeah,
because
not
the last thing I
Edmonton.
really want to do is go.
I was an Oiler.
Former
Yeah.
Edmonton Oilers goalie. Don't you know who I am?
Were
or
you
whatever?
wearing that hoodie by any
No,
chance?
I wasn't.
Because it says Edmonton Oilers alumni right
and
on
it was
it.
funny because this is why I thought about it. I was just wearing a T-shirt because it was a little warmer at the time, and thank God I wasn't wearing this because it's happened before where people started talking to me. And I go, why is this person talking to me like this? And then that's why, right?
yeah.
But no, I skirted the whole thing, and because I just didn't want to get into the other stuff about it.
It reminds me
But
of
she asked me my name afterwards, and I was like, do I give her the right name? I bet. Well, I'd look like a total douche.
No,
if I did.
that looks like you're being humble.
Yeah, but I said it's Joaquin. She didn't know. But now she's probably going to go back to, her husband or whatever, because he seemed like a very knowledgeable hockey guy from what I understand. And her brother played pro, and we probably crossed paths at some point. And so she's going to say my name. But
It reminded me of a clip almost where you were saying there was a clip from many years ago. I found it like 2015. This guy in BBC over in England was going out doing streeters, asking people about a specific match that had been played years prior. And he ends up talking to this one guy like, hey, do you remember this Merseyside Derby 1967 game, 5th round FA Cup match against Everton? And the guy's like, yeah, I was the goalie.
Oh, really?
No way. It was so lovely. And he was just like, I played in it. I was the goalie for Liverpool. And the guy had just this massive smile, but he's like, I of course know that game. I was in it.
Well,
it was a lovely little
that's
clip.
great. Well, the other one was I think the draft was in Chicago a few years ago or Nashville. And the GM
Kyle Davidson
was walking down the street and got, hey, so you're into hockey? And he was like, a little bit. And he asked him all these questions, but he gave these really good answers. And the guy was like, geez, what a psychopath. It was funny, man.
I will say I'm not great with. I am socially awkward. So if you ever do come up to me, I'm awkward. Just that's who I am. So if it's a really weird encounter, it's because I'm just an awkward person.
Yeah, me too.
I'm not good meeting someone for the first time and not knowing. And sometimes people it's happened where it's like somebody catches me and I'm thinking about something else, and I'm like startled that somebody actually knows me.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then I feel like, well, that was an awkward conversation I had, and they probably think I'm the biggest dick there is.
Yeah, it's good being with I don't know how, because Dusty can't go anywhere without people knowing.
No,
him. Like
Eric too.
Eric too.
Eric gets it a lot.
Really?
I couldn't be them. I couldn't do it. I'm just not capably socially of executing that.
Because when I was slinging dogs at Commonwealth, and I. After the game, I saw Dusty, and I went to go over to talk to him, and then people just before you knew it, there was like 10 people around him, and I just said, screw it, I'll talk to him later.
You have no idea the amount of extra connections, like through my friends or whatever. They'll talk about how I do this, and they're like, "Oh, that's Dustin Nielsen show."
Yeah.
Like, how's Dusty?
Yeah.
I'm like. To me, I just see him as a regular. That's
you guys are the same when it comes to pallets.
He's the LeBron of Edmonton.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I got Dusty a little mad today.
Why would you say?
It was fair. I stand by it, and then I think afterwards when we talked about it, he kind of understood where I was. But Belzy brought up the fact that Skip Bayless said LeBron is ninth best player ever, and even Stephen A. is like, "What are you talking about, dude? There's 8 better players than him. Like, what's going on here?" And I said, when it comes to LeBron, I can accept probably as low as somebody saying LeBron James is the 5th best player ever.
Oh, he lost it. I saw him walk out of his office.
He was not happy. And it's one of those things where I'm like, and we talk, if you want to say MJ is better than LeBron, okay, he's in one of those 4 spots. Will Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah.
Like, how can I sit there and be like, no, LeBron is better than Bill Russell? I don't know that much about Bill Russell.
No.
I just know he was revered. He's a 9-time NBA champion, I think, and was one of the greatest to ever play it. Like, there is a level of certain players that if they put that, looking at the 5, I think you could put LeBron 5. And I disagree, but I could be like, I could understand that. I don't think you can go any lower. So until I explained it, he jumped into nasty chat saying, we're not on the hangout. Myself, Tommy, Belzy, and Jasmine are done on the hangout moving forward. And he's hiring new hosts.
He's not. It's just it's facts, though. That's what hurts him so much. Deep down, he knows.
But what's wrong with being 5th?
Oh, look.
Like, there's the other parts of it, too. Like, it's LeBron James, even if you say MJ's better, he's the second best player ever to play the game.
Yeah. Exactly.
My favorite thing is on the lock shop. He goes after the MJ people going, they don't have any arguments. Like, I'm willing to have a debate. And these people have, and it's like, well, are you really having debates?
No.
Because I don't think you would come off of LeBron being number one.
He should retire.
LeBron?
Yeah.
He should go on a league minimum to the LA Lakers. That was floated out there yesterday.
I just don't like the NBA right now.
That's fair. Can't say much on that.
It's tough to watch.
The Skirt Let's Do It has been sent over to Play Alberta. I was hoping maybe they'd be quick on this. Sometimes they go super quick and it'd be up by the end of the show or as soon as they send it up. It is up. It is up. Plus 350.
All right.
Plus 350. Detroit
Right.
Pistons minus 3.5. Avs minus 1.5. Marty and H is 1+ point.
Sweet.
Plus 350. There's a lot at Play Alberta right now. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different plays that are up there.
You don't have to go anywhere else. Play Alberta. Hit on the
Alberta.ca.
EST specials, and you're done.
Boom. We've got Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Mill coming up from 3 until 6. Steve Simmons on at 3:40. Ed Hervey, general manager of the Edmonton Elks, on at 4:40. And it's just it's going to be a great time anyways because Reed, Jay, and Benny are together. And who doesn't want to listen to that? 6 o'clock on our audio streams. We also have Crush Performance. Thank you to Mick Kern for joining us today from Sirius XM. Benny, excellent job on the other side of the camera. Gage, fun working with you. Let's do this again on Friday. How about it?
Okay. Well, maybe. You might be in some hotel reading books.
That's true. On behalf of Gager and Benny, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in to EST Afternoons right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, the clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Reed, Jay, Benny coming up in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.